$30 billion. That's the eye-popping figure at the heart of the biggest financial crime in Alabama history. It's a tale of greed, deception, and betrayal that would make even the most cynical viewer's jaw drop. This is the money trail. Our journey begins in 2013 when the unassuming town of Birmingham became the unlikely epicenter of a financial scandal that would shake the foundations of the state. The culprit? None other than HealthSouth, a healthcare services giant with deep roots in Alabama's business community. At the time, HealthSouth was one of the largest companies in the state, with revenues exceeding $4 billion annually. But beneath the surface of this financial powerhouse lurked a dark secret. Its books were filled with inflated earnings and fabricated assets. The man behind the scheme? None other than HealthSouth's CEO, Richard Scrushy, who masterminded a complex web of fraud that would ultimately result in the largest corporate accounting scandal in history. Over the course of nearly 2 decades, Scrushy and his accomplices manipulated the company's financial statements to the tune of billions of dollars in inflated earnings. But how did they get away with it for so long? That's where things get really interesting. Using a combination of intimidation, bribery, and outright fraud, Scrushy and his cronies managed to dupe investors, regulators, and even their own auditors into believing that HealthSouth was a thriving, successful business. The consequences of this massive fraud were far-reaching and devastating. Thousands of innocent shareholders lost their life savings, and the company itself was forced into bankruptcy, wiping out billions in value for employees, creditors, and investors alike. As we'll see in future episodes of The Money Trail, the fallout from this financial crime would reverberate throughout Alabama's business community and beyond, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. But amidst the wreckage, there are also lessons to be learned about the importance of transparency, accountability, and good governance in our financial system. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a wild ride down the money trail. Join us as we explore the biggest financial crime in Alabama history and uncover the secrets that brought HealthSouth to its knees. At the heart of this story is HealthSouth, a healthcare services provider that once stood tall in Birmingham, Alabama. But beneath its gleaming exterior lay a web of deceit spun by its founder and former CEO, Richard Scrushy. Scrushy co-founded HealthSouth in 1984, growing it into a multi-billion-dollar company with operations across the United States. However, by the early 2000s, HealthSouth was drowning in debt due to an aggressive expansion strategy. To keep the company afloat and maintain the appearance of profitability, Scrushy and other executives engaged in a massive accounting fraud scheme. They inflated earnings by hundreds of millions of dollars, cooking the books through complex financial maneuvers that went undetected for years. The scale of the deception was staggering. Over $2.7 billion in fictitious profits were reported between 1996 and 2003. Scrushy wasn't alone in his scheme. He had willing accomplices, including Chief Financial Officer Weston Smith and Vice President of Finance Emery Wager, who helped orchestrate the fraud. These men created fake documents, manipulated accounting entries, and even lied to auditors to hide the truth. Meanwhile, Arthur Andersen LLP, one of the world's top 5 auditing firms at the time, failed to detect the fraud during its annual audits. This lapse in oversight allowed the scheme to continue unchecked, further eroding trust in our financial system. In 2003, the SEC launched an investigation into HealthSouth, ultimately leading to Scrushy's indictment on 85 counts of fraud. He was eventually convicted on 36 counts and sentenced to 7 years in prison. Weston Smith and Emery Wager also faced justice, serving time for their roles in the scandal. The HealthSouth case serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked corporate greed and lax regulatory oversight. It's a reminder that behind every glittering success story can lie a hidden trail of deceit, one we must follow to ensure accountability